as Tesla shareholders have thrown their support behind Elon Musk again. The question, where to from here for Elon Musk and Tesla? First, some thoughts from Dan Ives and what's that other guy's name? I forgot.
The line of thinking is twofold. Number one, Musk gets paid. He's happy. He's engaged. He's full-time back at Twitter. Boom, laser focused. Number two, Musk gets paid and he kind of wanders off and does other stuff because now he's gotten paid.
Well, I mean, he seemed really excited today, so I
if I
hope
got $45 billion, I'd be pretty happy too.
Yeah, well, I think it was also like a referendum on his management in his mind, and I don't think he saw it for what it really was, which was just a messed up pay package. But that said, I'd love to see Elon running Tesla again, and even better yet, I'd love to see him use the same PR and advertising agency that he used to sell people on his stock plan to sell the actual cars. So,
anyone else sensing a wee bit of butthurt here?
that would be a great step forward for Tesla, because it doesn't really matter how many cars or what kind of cars they make right now. They need to increase demand, and they need to start figuring out how they're going to do that.
I'm sensing a little bullishness from the Bear Gerber.
First of all, I'm not a bear.
He's not a bear.
I got to give a round of applause to Dan here. Some next level trolling. I think if we're being honest, Ross is an Elon bear, not a Tesla bear, because Elon bad. Remember, this is the same guy who publicly disclosed he would be voting to rob Musk of his fairly earned 2018 compensation. If you guys saw the folks on the All In podcast recently describing such behavior as the kind of thing that would only occur if someone were a scumbag, you might understand. But again, to be clear, I don't think Ross has ever been a Tesla bear as much as an Elon bear. Of course, he projects a lot of Elon bad onto Tesla, using it as a vessel to attack Musk, suggest he's not competent and so on. But he always tends to say fairly positive things about Tesla, the company. When it boils down to it, it's just everything seems over the last 18 or so months weird to be through the lens of Elon bad, but Tesla not bad, but Elon bad.
I own hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla.
I did have the impression that he personally owned hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla stock. However, Ross refers to him owning hundreds of thousands of Tesla shares interchangeably with clients that Gerber Kawasaki manage money for happening to own Tesla shares, and counts those as we own. So I don't actually know what Ross's personal ownership of Tesla stock is. Clearly, the impression someone would get from watching this is that he personally owns hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla. Listen to that again.
God, he's not a bear.
I own hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla. There's nobody's been in Tesla longer. I've been there since the first day. That said, the issue I have.
Okay, so that's a pretty clear statement. Ross obviously, at least if we could take him at his word, does personally own hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla stock, and has since, I guess, the IPO, that would be the first day, right? Which would have produced a pretty decent return, roughly 140x, not bad. That said, if I'd purchased Tesla back at IPO, throwing in just a few $100,000 at the time would have produced a colossal return. Of course, sitting on such a gigantic return, one could become quite bearish on a company or its leader, or both, or neither, and still be hanging on to those shares, because why would you sell? Pay capital gains tax and then do what with the money?
I was thinking about this, Dan. Do you actually use full self-driving? Because I know you travel all the time, and I use it every day, and I just don't see the incrementally positive changes that they're talking about. I've actually felt like in a lot of ways it feels very stuck where we are with full self-driving right now, and I'd love to see.
So, fair question from Ross, but just to be clear, this is anecdotal. Tesla themselves are disclosing data, miles per intervention, and the miles per intervention number is increasing massively with these revisions. So anecdotes are cool, but data's where it's at. If we were just thinking anecdotes, we think that every electric vehicle spontaneously combusts all the time and they have no range, right?
See it advance in a much more productive way.
And now more thoughts from the fashion icon.
Do you know what's under that wrap? What is the mini Tesla going to look like, or whatever it is?
I think in the first quarter, 2025, it's a sub 30K vehicle. We'll call it a Model 2.5 in terms of what ultimately is coming out. But this is so important in terms of the volume game, where this is a company, I look out in the next few years, we're talking ultimately 3-4 million cars per year. That's the goal. They've clearly gone through demand challenges, but I believe this is a new age now. This is I think it's a monumental day, and I ultimately think this will be a market cap north of $1 trillion a year.
Maybe they should invent raw.
Such courage with that extremely high-risk call, the Tesla will eventually be a $1+ trillion market cap company for the second time. I mean, thanks, Stan. Just for contrast, ARK Invest 5 years are looking about an $8 trillion market cap. Elon Musk himself did the math at Tesla's annual shareholder meeting. Long term, on the back of Optimus, $25 to $30 trillion market cap. So yes, I think it's safe to say that it's fairly likely in the long term, or actually maybe not that long, that Tesla will in fact exceed a $1 trillion market cap. Such a brave call from Dan.
Cross a little tiny car with 2 seats and tiny little wheels and call it the smart car and see what happens. I'm kidding, sort of. Okay.
Morgan Stanley has some thoughts now that Tesla shareholders have voted to ratify Musk compensation again and to move headquarters out of Delaware to Texas, their corporate headquarters, where they're incorporated. According to the company's announcement at the Tesla 2024 annual stockholder meeting and SEC filings, reiterating the news, both CEO Elon Musk's compensation package and the Texas reincorporation proposal passed the shareholder vote. A few thoughts. He's back. He never left, just to be clear. Tesla investors can now expect Elon Musk to remain CEO of the company. We expect he will be present on the 2Q conference call and that Tesla will go forward with hosting a Robotaxi. Oh my God. Dude, I'm having a hard time here. Let me just finish this sentence. We expect he will be present on the 2Q conference call and that Tesla will go forward with hosting a Robotaxi event in Austin on August 8th. Are they implying that if this wasn't ratified, that he would have just been like, nah, fuck this, I'm cancelling the Robotaxi event, I'm never going to be on another earnings call, I quit? Like, what? Maybe some people actually thought this was... I'm so confused right now. What do you guys think? Seriously, can anyone imagine that Musk is like, oh, fuck that, I cancel the Robotaxi event now, fuck the Robotaxi. Oh my God. Delaware Court still needs formal legal approval, which is not guaranteed. Reuters reports that there will likely be months of litigation to follow in the attempt to overturn the extremely corrupt activist pretending to be a judge, Kathleen McSeebohm's ruling to spit in the face of Tesla shareholders, tell them that their opinions don't count, democracy is bullshit, and she knows better. I think I misread that anyway. I think you get the point. Collateral. In the event that the Delaware court overturns its prior ruling, Mr. Musk will still not have achieved his goal of 25% blocking minority voting power in Tesla. To offset tax impacts and to close the gap to 25% will require further purchases or other mechanisms, capital or voting, to raise Mr. Musk's stake. So just to be clear, they're talking about Musk having more voting control. I think at this point in time, he's got roughly 13 or so percent. After he exercises these options, it'll be a bit more, but still not quite at his goal. We note that Mr. Musk has substantial assets outside of Tesla. We estimate could be valued in excess of $100 billion that could possibly be used as collateral in subsequent potential transactions. E.g., what they're kind of hinting at here is maybe Musk can set up a line of credit secured against SpaceX stock and or XAI stock, you get the point, and use some of that to purchase a larger stake in Tesla. E.g., more options. Because just to be clear, just like the 2018 compensation, Tesla doesn't give Elon anything. What happens is there's a previously agreed upon price to purchase shares. Assuming the shares go up in value, it means that Musk buys them at a discount, but he still has to buy them and he needs to come up with that cash somehow. Typically, the way this works is you simultaneously sell some of the stock options to pay the required purchase price plus any taxes at the time they're exercised. We were taken by surprise by the shareholder approval to reincorporate the company in Texas. Now, to be honest, kind of makes two of us. Now, look, the reason was there was a much higher threshold here. They needed 50% of all shares, not just shares that voted, but 50% of all shares. Lucky for us, roughly 3/4 of shareholders voted. And that's crazy because a portion of shareholders, I don't know what the exact number is, probably at least 10, 15, maybe more percent, couldn't vote because they're at trash-ass brokerages. So this was very surprising. Clearly, this mattered a lot. Clearly, Tesla shareholders don't want a shithead pretending to be a judge in Delaware fucking them and spitting in their face ever again. Delaware fucked around and found out. In addition, there are a number of legal, tax and liability considerations to consider that we will not detail here. Near-term priority. Resetting the cost and capacity bar in the auto business. Shareholder votes are important, but they won't get consumers to buy electric vehicles. We still think consensus expectations for the core auto business will come down as the global industry adjusts to a new, slower growth era. Medium-term priority. Introducing new products, both within the auto business and beyond the auto business, that capitalize on Tesla's position in AI, robotics, compute, and renewable energy. After many years, it may be time to add some new rows to your Tesla model. This is actually amazing. They're talking about Robotaxi. They're talking about Optimus. I love this. Now, just for the record, these rows have been in my valuation model for years. By the way, check it out on Patreon at the investor level and above if you haven't already. Link in the pinned comment. But this is a moment because these guys are buried in Wall Street. Remember, the folks covering Tesla, Adam Jonas himself, is an auto industry analyst. I'm going to read this again. It's big. After many years, it may be time to add some new rows to your Tesla valuation model. By the way, I completely agree. Everyone should be thinking about Tesla in terms of AI, robotics, energy. They should all be in your valuation model. Long-term priority. Connect and unify the strategies across Elon Musk's scientific and industrial endeavors, particularly between XAI, Tesla, and begin to plan for eventual succession. What's in the book? Quote, "We're not just opening a new chapter for Tesla, we're starting a new book," Elon Musk declared to excited investors at the annual general meeting as he discussed the opportunities in autonomy. While we believe this recent period of uncertainty around the leadership of the company has weighed heavily on the stock, we look ahead to the full measure of having Elon Musk's fuller attention and energy behind the company's strategy as it undertakes, wait for it, the biggest metamorphosis in its history. And they ain't wrong. It seems that Morgan Stanley are planting a flag in the ground and really starting to say, hey guys, guess what? No longer just a car company. Seriously, you need to add some rows in your valuation model. Tesla is transforming. Keywords here again, AI, robotics, compute, and renewable energy. Almost as if some subtle shots have been fired to the folks who are still obsessed about Tesla's auto business. Don't get me wrong, it's worth paying attention to, but it's not worth obsessing over or having a laser focus on because you're likely to miss the bigger picture. I'm just kidding, Tesla's just a car company. Nothing to see here, bye. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Plus, has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. Plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, What's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.